everything at a young age, you've actually been through more than like most people that have been in business for a long time have. And like, what's some learning experience that you took away from that?
We signed our lease the day the country shut down.
Yeah,
signed our
stop
lease.
it.
And we're like freaking
Did you guys
out.
have to pay rent?
So no, there was no rent. We were doing our build out, so they gave us a kind of a grace period to do our build out and stuff. And man, it was the most stressful thing I've ever been through in my whole life. So we were worried. We're sitting there doing budgeting. I remember still sitting down with my partner, Jake, and we're sitting there talking about how much we have to do in sales to break even. How can we make 100,000? What do we got to do to get there? And we both wanted to work 365 days. We both wanted to work open to close, no employees.
Sounds familiar.
We said we got it. We were like
fucking love it already.
we wanted it, man. And like it was. And I think that's the reason why it survived and why it did so well. I mean, opening day we had 550 people in line.
Literally out the door. I remember that.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for?
Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in so far. If you've enjoyed what you've been listening to and you're looking to scale your real estate portfolio, we have our Scalers Only Mastermind that is now open and accepting applications. So, if you'd like to join the family, be a part of the community, and scale your business, all you got to do is click the link below. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Scalers Only Show, where we talk real estate, business, lifestyle, and everything in between. Today, I got my boy Bailey Leforge, who is actually business partners with a guy I went to the same high school with. But this guy went from shoe cleaner to shoe king, and he is the shoe king of Columbus, Ohio. This man owns SoleStop in, I think, 2 locations now, right?
Yep.
Is that right?
Locations, yep. Players and total.
And he's got some very big growth plans as well. And is a very, very young guy, is an entrepreneur. A lot of respect for you and what you've accomplished so far. Looking forward to seeing what you're going to do in the future. And just want to say welcome to the show.
Cool. Yeah, it's a pleasure being here. Blessing.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that.
Where all the sneakerheads at?
Yeah.
Bobby.
I thought I was the shoe king of the building. No, I'm not today. Shoot.
Nah, you shine in this dude's shoes.
I know. I'm your shoe cleaner. How's that? Now, for people that don't know, like where you're originally from here or in Ohio?
So I'm originally from like the Dayton area, real small town, Clarksville, Ohio, right by like Wilmington, Lebanon. So yeah.
That's by Cincy, right, or no? Lebanon.
So if you dropped a pin between here and Cincinnati, just dropped a pin, you'd hit Clarksville, right in the middle. Yep. So about an hour from both.
What brought you up to Columbus?
Business. There was no potential out there. I felt like I was surrounded by nothing, surrounded by nobody. I wanted to find somewhere where I felt like I could expand and grow, whether it be opening a business or just meeting people. So I thought Columbus, looking at Ohio, I thought Columbus was the best for that.
Columbus seems to be the mecca for small towns all across the state.
Yeah.
So we were talking off air, but when you were 14, that was kind of like the entrepreneurial epiphany kind of hit you, which is crazy. That shit didn't hit me until I was like 24.
We're pulling toilet paper at 14 years old, man. You can't do that now either.
I was
It's too
making
expensive.
houses.
You can't do that either now. It's too expensive.
No,
That's a rich people
you don't
thing,
want
throwing
to.
eggs.
You're not throwing eggs anymore.
Wait, what do they say like about bullets, right? And guns. If you increase the price of a bullet, you won't throw them. Maybe that's why people aren't throwing eggs.
Yeah.
Case study.
Parents won't let them anymore. It's not cheap enough.
But 14 years old, man. Wow.
Yep.
What brought that on? Like,
I always wanted, I don't know, I remember even being 8, 9, 10 years old. I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I didn't know what an entrepreneur was. I didn't know the word entrepreneur. But I knew I always wanted to invent something when I was younger. I would sit there and I was making cat toys and stuff, and I still remember this. I'm like 10 years old. I still remember. I did lemonade stands. I grew up off of lemonade stands. I remember I was in kindergarten, was my first lemonade stand. And
What'd
I
you
still
charge for
remember it to this
lemonade?
day. 50 cents, but I was
man.
He's an entrepreneur.
Inflation got to you. Pre-inflation.
That's pricier than some of the houses in Dayton.
No kidding.
Dude, we literally have had a property in Dayton for
it's like 10 grand.
Yeah.
It's like 10 grand.
We had that one for 6.
Yeah.
People were living in them like, damn.
Yeah, you can get Dayton for nothing. But yeah, no, 50 cents. I was, and I had people that come by, give me 5, and I remember I always knew I wanted to either own a business, I wanted to invent something, something. I started from lemonade stands, and then I started selling snapback hats in middle school, then made my way to shoes. As I got older, around 14, 15 years old, started selling shoes.
Are snapbacks still a thing?
More than flat
Not,
bills.
not as much as they were. Not back when they.
Back when that song came out, right? Snapbacks and tattoos.
Tattoos.
The upper
when they.
dads.
So, for those of you guys that don't know,
Terry has a pair of.
I have. This is my first pair of Jordans, by the way,
Yeah.
and I bought these from this man right here.
Oh yeah. No,
Chase
that's
brought him
crazy.
over for him.
Yeah,
Very
the Fire Red
clean.
5 Lows. It was one actually. So the high top was one of my first pairs. It was like one of the top 5, I think. It was one of my first pairs.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, sweet.
I loved wearing them, but and it was my first pair of Jordans ever.
Mhm.
But they started to crease a little bit. You can see
They
right
do,
then. I was
yeah,
like,
it's
yeah, I
frustrating.
can't.
Yeah.
What about those
Yeah.
crease protectors? I've tried, but they hurt your toes when you wear them.
Yeah. I've heard that from a lot of people. I've never used them myself, but I've learned to walk very gently when I walk. Because I see it every day with people, man, they'll come in with the most beat shoes I've ever seen. And it drives me crazy.
You're like, no.
Yeah, like, please.
No, that's pretty awesome. I mean, everything at a young age, you've actually been through more than like most people that have been in business for a long time have been. Like you survived through COVID, having a retail
That's
store.
true.
I mean, what's some learning experience that you took away from that, and how was business actually through that? Like that's a hard place to pivot for retail.
It's
When
funny.
You guys got
So-
shut down too, right? Like everything was
Yes,
shut down.
Not even shut down. We signed our lease the day the country shut down.
Yeah. Oh,
so
shoot.
we signed our lease that morning. Signed our
Stop
lease,
it.
and then got told shutting down.
Stop.
Like, mall's not even gonna be open. We're like freaking.
Did you guys
out.
have to pay rent?
So no, there was no rent. We were doing our build out, so they gave us a kind of a grace period to do our build out and stuff. And man, it was the most stressful thing I've ever been through in my whole life. Like we were terrified because everyone's talking, like who's gonna go out after this? Everyone, the masks, like, are people gonna be spending money? Are people gonna be afford to spend money? Are we gonna be working? So we're like, God, we're
It's your
opening a
first business
store.
too,
Like,
right?
Yeah,
Like-
my first business. So we were worried. We're sitting there doing budgeting. I remember still sitting down with my partner, Jake, and we're sitting there talking about how much we have to do in sales to break even. So we're like doing the math, like we need to do this and this just to break even. And then we did the math. How can we make 100,000? We wouldn't make 100,000 bucks. That was like a dream, man. Make 100,000 bucks. And I still remember doing that math, like what do we got to do to get there? And we both wanted to work 365 days. We both wanted to work open to close, no employees.
Sound familiar?
We said we got it.
I
We were like head.
Fucking love it already.
We wanted it, man. And like it was. I think that's the reason why it survived and why it did so well. I mean, opening day we had 550 people in line.
Literally
Wow.
out the door. I remember that.
How,
man.
how,
I
how long
remember
did
that.
it take for them to let you start having people in the store, though? Because it wasn't deemed like an essential business, right?
No, it wasn't. an
Shoes
essential
are though.
business.
They're very essential.
They should be.
Yeah,
You
should
ask
be.
some people. Shoes are an essential business.
Yeah, no kidding. It's a couple months. Let's see.
Because like March,
Was
that
it
stuff
still
went
being-
down.
From the time we were told that, I say it was at least by 2 or 3 months from the time they had told us to the time we'd actually got to sell a shoe. It'd been a couple months.
How scared were you?
I was fucking
You're like, oh,
terrified.
we're basically opening up and we're gonna get shut down the next day.
And that's what
your happiest
we
day
told
tier?
them. We were like, so what happens if we open up and then all of a sudden we shut down again? What happens if it goes crazy, COVID goes crazy, and we got to shut down again? Like, we're all in on this. Like, we've invested. Me and my partner, we invested every dollar we had to open this store.
How'd you get that money in the first place? Just from like
Hustling over the years. So I can say it for both of us. It was all our money. It was
Yeah.
no investors, no parents, no
Wow.
outsiders. It was both of us. From age 14 to 19, just saving. And so yeah,
it worked.
yeah, definitely did work. Very thankful for it.
What are some saving tips that you have, or what are some stories that you have? Like, these are some things that I did to save money. I mean, for instance, when I tell my story, I talk about not going out to eat. Driving an S10.
Yep.
Just living broke basically.
Yeah.
I mean, what are some things you did to save money?
All my friends used to make fun of me because I literally lived like I was broke. Like you would even to this day, if you see me and my employees will think this is funny. I mean, I dressed in all Goodwill stuff. I dress like I.
That's like the cool thing, though, right?
Yeah, I know it is anymore, but yeah, I've never I never was that person that was like, I got to impress everyone in the room. I got to be standing out to everyone in the room. When we'd go out to eat, I wasn't scared. I'd get waters. I never...
Give me some lemons with those waters.
Yeah.
Yes. Give me some sugar packets.
I never
Always.
went
I did that.
crazy. You know, I never went crazy with my spending. I was very, very cheap. Very cheap. When
Which
my
is-
friends would go out, I was like on my phone doing calculations, like how much am I really about to spend right now? Like,
Yeah.
And I remember, like I was very cheap. I still am very cheap, but
Which is probably tough because I feel like the shoe industry is the complete opposite.
oh,
Where
complete
everyone's
opposite.
trying to like,
Yeah.
what's the newest thing,
Right,
right?
right,
How
right.
can I flash a little bit more?
Yeah, how can
Yeah.
I be how can I look better than everyone else in the
Right,
room?
right.
Like, yeah, that's literally all shoes has become. It's tough, but again, man, I mean, so we didn't really have a whole lot of money when I was younger. So like now it's like money doesn't impress me. So like I don't have to be the one in the room that's like going crazy or still spending or having the nicest things. Like stuff doesn't really
But that
matter.
motivated you though, still
Oh yeah.
being younger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
it did.
So what made you even decide to get into the shoe business?
Yeah,
Like, you know, from in high school we talked off air a little bit.
Mhm.
Appreciate it, by the way. But we talked off air, and you know, entrepreneur for I mean, as a teenage kid,
Mm.
and then you kind of had it in your blood. But then, what got you drawn to shoes? What got you into the whole shoe game?
Because you went all in on shoes after you had been already selling other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
From hats to shoes, right? Or
Yeah,
was it something in between?
Yeah, hats to shoes. I did furniture, stuff like that. Going to
Okay.
Goodwill, bought some furniture, flipped some furniture.
It was Pineda, right?
Yeah.
Kind of
Flip
flipping.
couches.
Anything I could
Man.
We were in the wrong business when we were
Yeah,
young, man.
I
We
know.
should have flipped furniture and sofas.
Good money. It's good money, man. Shoes, a mix of things. So growing up, the athletes, you got your Michael Jordan, you got your LeBron James, Kobe Bryant.
They all have their own
had their
signature
sneakers.
shoes.
Yes, they had their
Yep.
signature shoes. You watched them on air. It's like it gave a different meaning. So all my friends, they always had the newest shoes, always had the newest LeBrons, always had the newest Jordans. So for me, like I said, my mom didn't really have money to be buying me all these things that they were getting.
Yeah.
So I'd see it, you know, watch them have it, and be like, man, I want those so bad. But I knew I couldn't ask for those kinds of things.
What was the
so-
shoe you wanted the most as a kid?
Oh, I love this.
Man, the most, I would say the Jordan 1.
Okay.
The first one, Jordan 1. Now I actually have 12 of the original 1985.
Made up
Jordan
for it.
1s.
Yeah, you made up for it.
The ones
I
that he
couldn't
bled
get-
in
yes,
when he tried to
yes.
replay them?
Yep. the
I couldn't
original-
get
yes,
one,
the
so I want
original
12.
Jordan 1. Yeah, I went out and got all the original 85s, the 1985. So
Good for
Wow.
you, man.
Bobby, what was yours?
I don't know. I was in designer shoes first before tennis shoes, I think. I used to like loafers, man. I don't know.
I know what Terry's are. He's got them on right now.
Gucci loafers is what I wanted.
Asics.
Gucci loafers when I was
Yeah.
younger.
The green and gold Asic Tigers,
Yeah.
baby.
yeah.
It used to be something else until we burned the shoe, remember? Because they weren't sponsoring you.
That's right. We don't say Akane on the show. See how I didn't throw the S in there? But no, I actually wore these green and gold shoes for you today because your business partner went to the same high school that I went to.
Yeah.
And so how did you come across the business partner, and how did that whole formation work?
That's kind of far from Dayton. Or
Yes.
from
So there's these things called sneaker conventions. We would both travel to every sneaker convention. He was the only one from when we were. He's younger than me, so I'm now 24. I believe he's 2 years younger than I
Damn,
am.
that gets me all teased.
So yeah, real young,
Dude,
Um,
I listen to this and I'm just like, I'm so behind the 8 ball.
We can't compare ourselves, but damn, I am right now. What was I,
Right?
24?
Yeah.
So yeah, when we were, I remember his mom would drive him to shoe shows. Like before we could even drive, his mom would be taking him to shoe shows, and we had talked and stuff like that. And then through the years, we were the only ones left, you know, that started. So people weed out, just like any business. You see people weed out. And him and I were the only ones still doing it. He was the only person I could find who had the same drive as me, who had the same mentality as me, and had the same money up front to invest into the business. Because I know for me, like at the time, I didn't really want any investing. I wanted to do this myself. I didn't really have any background in business or anything like that. So I wanted to find someone that maybe had the same things that I have. And
Sure.
that's how I found was Jake. So he's the only one that was like, I'm all in. He didn't go to college. I dropped out of college for it. So.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was sneaker conventions till I met Chase, and he was
Mhm.
like, "Yeah, I'm going to one this weekend. There's
Yep.
going to be like tons of people."
Yeah, no, it's insane. I mean, you can go to a sneaker con. I mean, you can see 10,000 people in one venue.
It's great networking too. You meet all types.
Right.
Yeah, the
Sneaker
networking
industry
is insane.
Dude,
I was gonna
It's nuts.
ask that, like, who's like one of the coolest people that's come into like your shop that you can remember.
can say.
Terry
If you can
Summers.
say, yeah.
Terry, mother.
So me, hold on.
Yeah, they're all right in front of me.
Flip a coin.
So I'd say in other people's eyes there might be cooler, but for me, growing up, I loved Ohio State football.
Yeah.
So one day this guy comes in and I'm like, this guy looks really familiar.
Yeah, you
I'm
like
sitting
double
there,
take?
like looking and looking. I'm like, that's fucking Braxton Miller. Braxton Miller. I'm sitting there like doing the spin move and stuff.
Fanboying.
Like a little
Dude,
kid,
that spin
man.
is epic.
Yeah,
man.
that spin
It's
was
epic.
nuts. Yeah, so I'm sitting there like, like, wow.
Trying not to geek out.
So yeah, I was like, it's so cool as an Ohio State like fan my whole life. I mean, it was really cool. And Cardale Jones, he's come in.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
I mean, the whole entire football team, everyone.
Right.
So it's gotten a little more normal. But I remember the first time Braxton came in.
That's
I'd
when
say,
you were
for
like-
me, yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, man, I remember sitting in my living room, like, imitating the spin move. Like, it just kind of,
Circle.
Do you remember if he bought a pair?
Yes, he did. He did actually.
Do you
He
know
did
which
buy-
ones?
Oh, man. I don't know that part. I know some clothes. He always buys stuff for his son.
dope.
Now he comes in a lot though. We still text here and there, so it's kind of cool. Like, I
That
show
is
my
cool.
dad, like, yeah, Braxton.
That's normal day, you know.
Hey, Braxton was texting me, you know.
normal day in the
Yeah,
office.
I mean, you are the destination in, I think, all of Ohio for shoes. Like, literally, people come down from every city.
Yes, I mean, we're even outside of Ohio now. We have people from Pittsburgh. People come from Indianapolis, and we see it from.
How did you
everywhere
do
now.
that? Like, I've even been to other shoe stores, in Miami, wherever, here and there. And I was saying earlier, like, literally, there's a different experience. But I don't know what it is, but you walk into your shoe store, it's a whole different experience. Like, you feel more comfortable. You actually want to spend more money. Like, it's just the people. I don't know what it is.
I will say this too. The one thing that I got from it is you guys have things that you can't get anywhere else, and you have to go to your store in person to be able to see it and get it.
Yep. So you have, with our industry, there's a lot of competition. I was speaking with someone earlier, one of you guys earlier, about you have like StockX.
StockX.
So when you do it online, like, yes, it's cool. You can get it. It might be here in like 3 weeks or something. But with a store like us, I mean, you get it right there and then. You're going to try it on the spot. You're going to see if it matches the hoodie you have. You're
Make
going
sure
to,
it doesn't crease on you,
and
on your
for
face.
us, for all the people that shopped with us, you can literally have your own personalized like shopper. Like, they'll walk you into the store, take you to your size section, break down where the shoe, what's the story behind the shoe. They will untie it for you. They will take your shoe off your foot. Like, I try to break down customer service as like the number one thing when it comes to my store. I will emphasize that until the day I die. Like,
Is it customer service or is it experience? Because
Experience,
you just explained a hell of an experience. I'm like,
Yeah,
damn.
there's good customer
Like, you're
service at, like,
talking,
Foot
I'm like,
Locker sometimes,
I wanna
but
go.
you have
There's
something
like, I need
different.
a foot
mean,
rub.
I'm like, yeah, dude, I need
an experience. You want to give every single person that comes in a positive experience, something that they're gonna get tell this person. They're gonna tell this person. This person. It's a trickling effect.
It's viral.
I think that's what separates us from a lot of stores, and the reason you'll see people travel from so far. And we do so much stuff too,
Yeah.
of like free shoes or $50 shoes or like some of the just craziest deals.
Giveaways.
I've never seen a store do some of those stuff that we
Just
do.
give back to the community kind of too.
Yeah,
I did
we
notice
do.
that.
Mhm.
Have you
Yep.
thought about selling online, or is that like you want to create your shtick as like an in-person?
We've discussed it.
Especially during COVID, I would
Yes,
assume, right?
Yes,
You're
yes, that was definitely one of the times where we were like, hey, we probably definitely should be considering it. I don't. It's hard. I like the experience side of things. It's harder giving that experience online. Online, you do have a lot of competition. You have your StockX's. You have your. I mean, there's a million different places now you can buy shoes online. I really have always just emphasized my in-store experience. I love the idea of online. I do. Deal with a lot of stuff, a lot of scamming, a lot of stuff like that, chargebacks and all everything.
With a lot of fake
all that
marketing too.
BS. Yep.
There's a lot of stuff you deal with trying to do online for sneakers. People saying they didn't get a shoe. People saying I've seen it all. And when you're not dealing with something where, like, I mean, for me, my margin might be 18% on something. So if you're going to charge back on a $2,000 order,
you're screwed.
Like,
Yeah.
I got to make up for that. And
one of the things I realized when I did stop in and got my son some shoes was, and myself as well, was you guys at the register were like, listen, I'm gonna knock $5 off, but you gotta sell this shit. And I was like, that is the most hustler thing I've ever seen. It was like going to I don't know, like one of those like little quickie marts where they're like, yeah, $5 minimum, bro.
Yeah.
But like you're like, hey, the sole secret, $5 off if you sell this shit right now. And I'm like, damn, like, and I saw the revenue that was going on in your store right there, and I know how much I spent. And I'm like, dude, you're gonna hit your 40K minimum probably in like 2 days. I'm like, I don't know how you're dealing with this.
The IRS has entered the chat room.
Yeah.
No, he's still paying taxes. He's saving on the credit card fees is what it is.
Yeah,
that's what it
yeah,
is.
So you still pay. Yeah, you still pay on it. But yeah, you're dealing with your fees, the credit card fees and stuff.
That fees add up, especially you guys do a lot of transactions.
Insane, dealing with 2.9% on
Plus
$1
$1
million, $2 million, $5 million. It's like,
you guys have
no
some.
joke.
I mean, when did you first break $1 million mark? Because that was probably a big accomplishment goal for you too. Because your thing was, I want to make $100,000.
Right.
And now you're like doing millions. I mean,
Yeah, no, it happened actually really fast. It was. I mean, I remember our first day. It was nuts.
What did you do on your first day? Can you share the number you did when you opened up?
How about pairs?
I could
How
probably
many
say number
pairs?
of pairs.
Yeah.
We'll do pairs.
Number of pairs. Probably. We had 700 to start. 700 pairs to start. Opening day, probably sold around 400 pairs.
wow.
So,
First
You
day?
sold
More than half your inventory.
2/3 of your
Oh,
inventory
we were
day
freaking
one.
out. Yeah, we were freaking out. We didn't know what to do, and that is the best problem to ever have. But yeah, we're like,
Right, but
we're
then
in
you're like,
full-
we need
we're
more
full-
inventory.
Yes, we were in full panic mode.
I'm in the wrong fucking business.
Dude, these shoes like a property, man. I'm telling you.
And people were getting free money. COVID news, because this was right
That
with
is true,
stimulus.
true.
Stimulus going out. Everyone's been locked in a house. People were just like, I want to spend money. I don't care what it is. I want to spend money. Everyone pretty much essentially just got a tax return, but everyone was getting it. It wasn't just people because, for like obviously us, we're not getting tax returns.
Yeah.
But people just like us were still getting stimulus. Like there's, people, so it was, everyone was getting free money. And that, like I said, mixed with nobody could spend money for so long that it was nuts. Every day was Christmas.
The shoe game has like a cult following too.
Yeah.
It's like the shoe game runs deep. Everyone, right? Everyone wants the newest, nicest pair of
Yes.
shoes. It doesn't.
Yes,
it doesn't matter
doesn't
if you're.
discriminate.
No, it doesn't
Yeah.
discriminate.
No.
Do you want to stay in shoes for the long term, or is that something that you want to kind of have on autopilot and start something else? Like, what do you think? Because I mean, you've learned a lot through business now. Do you want to keep that in that same business, or are you trying to expand out now slowly, or what do you think?
Think about it every day. It would be. I wouldn't say like 20 years from now, probably not gonna be selling shoes. Truthfully, 20 years from now, I'm probably not gonna be selling
Yeah.
shoes. I'd love to be. I'd say for me, I'd love to scale up the business, expand the business, get a couple more stores, and try to sell the business. That would be if I could, sell SoleStop one day.
2040 is an exit strategy already too, man.
That would be that would be ideal. I would say. Knowing how much stress is a part of owning a business. I mean, you guys know.
Oh.
Yeah, it's so stressful. I mean, I'm 24, like losing hair. I'm
Daily wear and tear.
Wait.
this forever.
Don't end up like a.
So yeah, I mean,
That's why I wear a hat,
do it
damn
forever. So yeah, I'd say once I'm done with the store, I just want to do something I like genuinely just love, like something
Yeah.
I'm just downright passionate about. So,
Well, I know you live with the community a lot too.
Yes.
Like you're very community important. Like even in your store, you'll see when you do certain things, just like a lot of giveaways for community or helping local other stuff. And I mean, is that something that you just always want to do too, or something you grow into, or 'cause
Yes.
a lot of people, especially in your position at a young age, all this money's coming in. I'm making this money. It's not even entering their thoughts, right?
To like
Right.
give
Oh,
it back.
no.
Yeah, like giving back. No, people don't realize they want to give back to like later on. But I mean, you're just like,
Right.
shoot, I want to do it right away.
Yeah,
Especially
so I
at
was
age
doing it in
24.
high school. Like I didn't even have money, and I was still. So I did at Clinton Massey. I did their book bag drives. So I gave back book bags, body wash, shampoo, and deodorant to all the elementary middle school students of low income. So started with there, and that was when I didn't have money. So I'm like scratching, like trying to get but I knew that was what I was passionate about. Because when I was younger, we used to get, because like I said earlier, my mom didn't really have money. So I had people in like our low income program, they would give me free stuff. Like I remember one Christmas, like I didn't get any Christmas presents at my mom's house, but the school had got me presents. I still remember it was a basketball. I still remember she got me a basketball. It was like the best thing that's ever happened. But I still remember that to this day.
Yeah.
So like for me, as I got older and became a little more successful, I realized how much of an impact I could then make in that position. Because it's like, if they did that for me, one person, like I can do this for thousands of people. And that's our goal now. We want to do one school per month for the next 12 months each year. So that's our goal.
That's awesome.
Of
Man.
doing,
You have the resources now to do more now too.
Yeah. Now it's insane. The whole football team. You got all these different athletic directors. We had Brutus the Buckeye was at one of the events that my buddy ran the other day that we were a part of.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's stuff like that.
You got another legend over here in the room that you should tag up with.
That's dope.
That does community stuff, Kanada.
Okay, yeah. No, that's I'd say the biggest goal now is we've really tackled, I feel like, what SoleStop is, but we want to take it to the next level. SoleStop's not just a shoe store. It's something that's way bigger than shoes.
It's ingrained in the community. It's ingrained in...
It's a culture. It really is.
Yeah. So I almost think it's almost synonymous with Ohio to a certain degree, and that, it's good and bad. Like what we deal with this too, being that we own ColumbusHome.com. We own that.
Right.
We own OhioHome.com. That was over $100,000 to buy that domain, but I knew the power of having that, right? But then you're like, oh shit. What if we want to go to Michigan? What if we go to Indiana? And I'm like, damn, I don't know if I'm going to foot that bill.
There's another $100,000.
What's American Home Company?
What's Michigan's will be cheaper than Ohio?
So yeah, you need to not bark up that tree. But when you become synonymous with the community, it's good. But from a branding standpoint, have you thought about like, man, this is how I expand the brand out of that footprint too?
Not to get pigeonholed.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely something we've thought about for sure. There's 1,000 different things that we can. It's something we've definitely thought about. Yeah, for sure.
So what is your next level? I mean, more than shoes and everything. What are you trying to impact, and what do you want to do?
More lemonade.
SoleStop, Soul Lemonade.
I do want to do that. It's funny. I do want to put a lemonade.
That's the most witty thing you've ever said, by the way.
The first group I've introduced it to, but no, I do want to put a lemonade store in my store. It's funny. Dude, we have done it. We've had lemonade pop-ups for kids.
Oh, nice.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
So we've had lemonade pop-ups in our store. We've had kids in there, and then they kept all the money from it. So
You'd be like,
it's been
damn,
really
they
sweet.
only
I mean, $1,000.
like, damn, they're only charging 25 cents a cup.
Nah, we did $1.
It's double now.
Inflation. We went up to $1.
We got that inflation going on.
Yeah, but no, I don't. I mean, so many things. Really, the community stuff is what I like. From here on out, I want to really hit. How many people can I impact more than money? Like, how many people can I sit? Because this was my first year going up on stage and talking. I don't really do much talking. I'm always behind the scenes, but I wanted to get out of my comfort zone, and that's why I'm actually here today. I want to get out of my comfort zone, doing something I don't really ever do. So first started doing that, and I realized, man, like how many, like seeing these kids. I mean, there was locked on. And they said that's SoleStop. Because I went to the Hilltop area,
okay.
So they all knew who SoleStop was, all of them. So when I'm up there telling them, like, man, I came from nothing. I mean, these kids were like eye to eye, like they really felt it. And I mean, they were coming to me after talking and stuff like that, and I realized how much of an impact I truthfully could have outside of just being SoleStop the business owner. Like I realized these kids, like it could mean a lot more to them, stuff that we could do. So
let me ask you this, man. I mean, shoes to me, I mean, obviously I just took up my ASIC Tiger, which is, I'm an old soul. I love old classic shoes. I love the Cortezes, the classics.
Yeah.
Asani Jazz.
Austin-y.
And I love the ASIC Tigers, but I love those classic shoes that the way they are. But it's a very young man's game. So like, how do you continue to like stay relevant? How do you continue to like know what's hot, what's not? Like, how have you thought about that and how that scales long term?
Yeah, so like any business is constantly learning. We learn every day. Every day there's something new that we learn, and the time that we invest into it. There's not a day that me and my partner, let's say we are on vacation, we're on the beach, feet in the air, just
Did you
kicking
finally take
it.
a vacation? Because last time I talked to you, you're like, I haven't had time for one
We don't do a
yet.
whole lot. I'm getting there. I'm getting very close. I'm getting very close to do some more vacations.
You hiring some good people in?
Went
Because we
on a-
talked about that
I went
too.
on a cruise. I did go on a cruise.
Nice.
That was cool.
Where'd you go?
Went all kind of place. Yeah, we went everywhere. Went to Mexico. Went to I'm trying to think where exactly we went. Costa Maya. We went a couple of different places. It was cool. It was a good experience.
Your mind's still in the
It
business.
makes
huh?
me really want. Yeah, but like I said, like no matter what, I feel like we're gonna be on our phones. We're gonna be doing some type of like either we're buying inventory. We're what released today. What's about to release. Like it's constant. No matter where I'm at, what I'm doing. Always on my phone. Always talking to people. I'm always texting people. I'm always doing research. Like there's something being involved.
So
Like, learning every day.
Very similar thing in our business
Yeah.
is the last thing that you give up either in the car or the home buying business is the buying.
Yep.
And so you just mentioned, hey, I got to buy all my inventory because you are the only one that's going to be like, man, I'm going to make sure I'm buying this right because they can sell it on the back end, but I got to make sure I buy it right. You always make your money on the buy.
Right.
So I know for us, it's kind of like the last thing that we give up and the hardest thing to outsource. Like, how are you planning to scale and then maybe, give that part of it up?
As in like finding people to do that part for me.
Yeah, like acquisitions.
It's hard. It's hard. That's
and like
probably
trusting
the
them
hardest part.
to do.
Trusting,
yeah,
yes,
like
it's-
90% of what you could.
I finally have a GM that I feel comfortable enough of letting him run the show at my SoleStop Tuttle location. That was one of the hardest things. So we think about all the time different parts of the business that we can hire out to take our spot. We think about it. We think about it a lot, but like we've both looked at it and been like, man, we're so young. We have like what
You
else are
are.
we possibly going to be doing with our time right now? To the point where, once we start, let's say we open SoleStop number 3, and then come 4,
Which you are.
and then come
It's coming.
5. We can't do everything ourselves. I can't source shoes for 5 different stores at the end of the day by myself.
Yeah.
Are you
Or what's
looking
taken
for
on.
investors too, by the way, or no? You're good.
I'm good right now. If we start to go just bananas, and I'm going other app, like different things. But if I'm only SoleStop only, I'd say we're good.
You have enough
say
cash
that-
flow
I
coming
mean,
in. That's
you,
awesome.
you as the businessman, do you know how many businesses don't have that opportunity to not have an investor?
Oh yeah, no, it's very
Most.
rare. Very rare.
We're definitely one of
Most,
them.
if not
we
all.
can't.
Yeah, you don't see. you
It's
don't see it very
a
often at all.
very cool.
Even in the
thing.
shoe industry, I mean, that industry, lots of
No.
people need the money up front. I mean,
Yeah,
it just starts them out in a hole, but you've been very fortunate in that way.
Yeah, each store takes about $1 million in inventory.
Yeah.
That's inventory, and you got you guys everything.
Staff
so
and
you
everything.
guys know staff. Yeah, your rent's not cheap. I mean, there's so many different things.
You guys need a place to rent?
JK,
JK, but not
stick
really.
it in malls for now.
We'll buy a spot for
We're
you.
sticking- right. Yeah,
Without
we're sticking
spilling-
in malls
Without
for now.
spilling too much, where do you source how do you source your inventory to keep like, you know what I mean? Because you said your shoes you usually sell them at a lower cost than most
Yeah,
places.
yeah.
How?
Networking. So what we've been doing, like I said, me and my partner, I remember when we were 14, 15 years old, going to these shoe shows, every single person I met, I'm putting their contact. I'm writing it down. I'm putting it in my phone, texting them, staying them on them. So over the years, just meeting people through these shows, through all these places I've been, and just staying on top of it. And then I got like Facebook groups and stuff like that, where we're constantly buy, sell, and trade. Everything we're doing, it's just through my phone. So
It's funny. It's
So-
like wholesalers for us.
And we're a
Literally,
buy,
It
sell, trade
it's the
same
It
same
is.
thing.
So
That's what I'm thinking.
Literally,
So,
his shoes are like properties. Each one of his shoes is like a house for us.
It's
Like,
what I'm
that's
saying.
Yeah, very similar.
So here's my question: is like on these Facebook swap groups, right?
Mhm.
When they find out that you're SoleStop, like how do you navigate that? Because it's very difficult, at least for on our side.
Mhm.
We're buying all these houses, blah blah blah, but they're like, oh, it's Ohio Home.
Why aren't you buying these?
Largest home buying
Charge you
company,
more
plus,
now.
blah, blah, blah. They're like, oh, well, yeah, now the price is X, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So, like, the price goes up. How do
Yeah.
you navigate that as being, like, largest shoe buyer?
I just won't buy it.
He's trying that door. I'm not buying it. We
But
need
I mean, if it makes sense, obviously,
Yeah.
I'm still gonna buy it. We do get charged.
I
mean,
control
people,
the prices.
you see it in the sneaker business. You get charged differently as a store owner, 1,000%. These resellers,
No
they will
kidding.
treat us. Yes, people come into our store and they want. You can look at StockX and they'll be $220 on StockX. They're like, I'm looking for like $235. It's like, it's $220 on StockX. What are you talking about?
I got to make a profit.
Yeah, I'm like, well, you're charging this, and I'm like,
Do you know how the business works?
yeah. So yeah, you do have a lot of people. People
How-
will treat a store very differently.
You ever have anyone that got really angry at you guys? Because you have a lot of great happy customers, but what's one of
Man, we
the...
got smacked, man.
Are you-
my
Someone literally smacked?
my general manager physically, got hit. Dude got thrown in the back of a cop car and everything. Yeah,
Holy crap.
crazy. man,
What?
Crazy. Yes. Yes.
I don't
he
think any of our
was-
attendants have actually attacked you.
And the
That
funny
was-
thing is, it wasn't even.
Well, they
we weren't
thought it
even
was a
buying
fake or
shoes. It wasn't even store related. It was.
What?
It was. What's up, man? What's going on? When he walked in, he said, "What's up?" We're like, "What's up, dude? What's up?" And he just blew up. And my manager's like, "Hey, like I will have to ask you. Like, you probably need to leave." He went up to my manager and smacked my manager. So yeah, we've dealt with
World of
fair
retail.
share. We've had a lot of people get
like-
upset, and you're gonna deal with it.
So-
World of retail and
Yeah.
money, dealing with money, exchanging money,
Mall people.
giving offers. You're gonna deal with it. There's no way around
So
it.
speaking of, man, I want to get deep for a second because you had an incident that happened at one of your stores.
Mhm.
And I thought I just want to put this out there and preface this before I, ask how you dealt with it.
Mhm.
I thought the way that you guys dealt with it was brilliant, but the shooting.
Mhm. Yeah. Yep.
Talk about that.
Damn, okay. I thought that was one of your...
So we over the summer we had a shooting in one of our stores. It was not sneaker related. The two gentlemen had known each other outside of sneakers, from what we were told from the police. One of the guys did die in the shooting. It was hard. It was really hard. It's something I never imagined experiencing. Something you get worried about, when you're out and about and stuff. Certain areas you kind of get a little tense. But in my own store, my own home, and somewhere I feel like we've only been nothing but positive, only trying to do some, we
safe
tried to
space.
do so far. Yes, it just felt like a safe space. So I never really had tension. In the beginning, there was a lot of tension. I always was nervous about it. But over the years, it never was like that. But yeah, that was, I would say that'll hopefully be the hardest thing I'll ever go through, mentally and as a business owner. Seeing all of it happen, trying to do what we can, as someone's land. It's hard. It's really hard. Nobody told me that nobody comes in and cleans after. That's on the business itself, so we're responsible for cleaning. It's hard. My employees, they saw it all. We had 32 people in our store that day, and they all saw it. It's hard as a business
wild.
owner. That's not easy. We closed for a week. I told all my employees, if you guys need any form of therapy, if you guys need anything from me, let me know, because nobody can just process that like that and get back to work where it happened, especially. So
Your
it
mind's
was
not always
tough.
flowing right either after that.
Yeah,
I remember talking to you the next day, and that was, you could tell, that was just something huge. You
Yeah.
took that to heart, very, as you should have.
Yeah.
That was seriously really rough.
Yeah, no, that was tough. It's something like I said, I never wanted to go through it. I never wanted I felt guilty. I never wanted these kids. At the end of the day, I have kids working for me. There was multiple 5, 7, 9-year-olds in my store when it happened. They watched it happen. So for me, I almost felt responsible. It happened in my own home, essentially. So it was hard. And it's hard to this day. I'm still messed up about it. And I know same with some of my staff. That's not something easy to come get through. But it strengthened our relationship, I'd say, as a staff. My relationship with a lot of my staff members, I'd say it strengthened that a lot. I consider a lot of them more my brothers than I even consider them staff at this point. So I say in that aspect, it really strengthened our the core. But definitely, it's not something I'd ever want to go through again, obviously.
How did you navigate that as a brand? You know what I mean? Without having it, have people feeling safe coming there, right? It's
Yes, that was something we heard for. I mean, we still hear it. We still get DMs. We still people comment and say,
Really?
I mean, just some of the craziest stuff, saying like people walking in like this is where the shooting happened and like just stuff like that. Like we knew it was gonna be affected. And it was actually that happened the week we signed with Polaris. So Polaris reaches out to me and was like, I want to hear from you before I hear from other people what happened. So I'm sitting here thinking like, God, we just lost.
like they're gonna
Polaris.
shut down our other location.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, we lost Polaris. I right there and then I almost knew. As soon as I got the text from the leasing, I was like, we just lost the store that I didn't sleep for a week straight trying to get. And I thought we lost it just from that. And they were very supportive about it though. She understood that, like I said, the police came out and said that it was not sneaker related, it was not SoleStop related. It was just
The one guy just knew the guy that was there.
Yeah. One person had posted where he was at. He's put his location online. The other person saw it. So it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate.
Was that the hardest thing that you've had to go through as a business owner so far?
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah, 1,000%.
Because that's something. There's no books. There's no YouTube
no,
videos. There's
ready
nothing
for
to
it.
navigate.
Yeah,
you.
I remember I'm reaching out to Bobby like, man, I don't know. Like, how do you what
Yeah, it's
what
tough.
do
I
I
mean-
do from here? There's so many different things. Not because as a business owner, when you reach something hard as a business owner, a lot of the times it's going to be something that's just like super stressful, or you're just going to lose a lot of money. When something like that happens, you're taking a mental beat down. Along with I have 32 staff members who also are in the
you gotta
middle of
pay 'em.
it, and I gotta pay them. There was a lot. We were worried about how business was gonna go. We were worried that is Columbus still gonna support us? I can say the newspaper, all the news articles, news stations, they were not helping us whatsoever. They
They never do.
They were
They
Surprise,
Bro, they
surprise.
never do.
yeah,
They never
They were
do.
saying some of the craziest things.
The one in between 5 and 7 was probably the worst.
Yeah, there was awful. I mean, it was awful. They were.
Terry's got PTSD.
I do.
They're brutal. So I think that was hard. That we were just worried. Like, what's next? What's gonna happen next? Are people gonna feel comfortable shopping with us? Or is it gonna happen again? I mean, that was another thing. They had let the shooter out. And then the next day he actually got put back, and they said it was because that he was making threats to witnesses.
Oh,
So I'm
wow.
like, that's myself, that's
Yeah.
all of my staff. So we're like, well, how do we process this? What are we supposed to do? Then we find out that was false, and the news just put it out there that he was making threats to witnesses, and it
Makes
was
it even
tough.
worse.
Yeah,
And the one thing about that, though, it shows like how you really are as a person and everything. Like I remember like talking to you, and some other people could think whatever, but your main thing was I don't care about anything right now. I got to make sure my team's okay, the people are okay, this is safe. I mean, it was all about that.
Yep.
And I was like in the back burner, like, you know what? I understand that, but you still have the responsibility to make sure your business
Yeah.
too in
Yeah.
the long run. But no, put that aside and make sure you focus on what you got to, and that was your main thing. You're like, no, just number one,
Right.
shutting down, not doing anything. Got to make sure everyone's safe, everyone's good. My employees and family, actually not employees, but your family, 'cause that's what they are to you.
Yeah.
And taking care of everybody, and that showed a lot about you as a person too. I mean, you really cared, and I think the community sees that too. That's why they support you and came through with it, because of the way that you did handle that, and you actually showed your true colors and showed, you know what, no, I'm here for you guys. I'm a real person. I
Right.
care about you. I'm more of a community person. That's who you are.
Yeah, no, and I had a lot of people, a lot of business owners that reached out to me and was like, you got to open, man. Like this at the end of the day, it's a business. You
Yeah.
got to open. Like you got to suck it up.
It's a balancing thing,
And
which
you
is
gotta,
crazy.
You got to make money. And I'm like, dude, money's the last thing on my mind.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, I have plenty of money. We're fine. SoleStop's fine. When it comes to financial, SoleStop's fine. Like that's the last thing that is on my mind is my business. It was. I mean, for a full week, it was. I cared about my staff. I want them in the right hands. Obviously, the family of the guy
Yeah.
that was killed. That kind of stuff was running through my mind. Not how am I going to make $1 from this. Like,
Yeah.
It was the last thing. Last thing that was on my mind.
When the chips are down too, you find out who really supports you and who really backs you. Did you have anyone like a lot of people reach out to you, like supporting you? And
Oh yeah, no, for sure. We had a lot of support from it wasn't only people saying negative things. We had our DMs were very negative, but no, we had a lot of people. That first day we opened, I remember it brought me to tears. I mean, we had a line, people just wanting to get in because we hadn't been open for a week.
That was
We had a line to get into our store after we just had a shooting. So like that was like crazy. After we're all worried, like, what's it gonna be like? And then the first day just went bananas. Like we'd never.
That support from the community means a lot.
Yes, it meant a lot. We had some people that were there during the shooting. They came in, just said what they need to say, and they even came in and bought some stuff too. Like we had someone that was at the checkout line with $1,700 worth of product, and he came in and we opened back up and bought the rest of his order. Like it was nothing. So. We got a lot of support through it, and that definitely meant a lot. Got us without people giving us that support. It would have been hard to get through all of it for sure.
So, what? And maybe it's this situation, maybe it's another situation, maybe it's a combination of situations. But what is one of name the show is Scalers Only? What is one of the, I guess, biggest lessons you've learned as a business owner? And not just scaling your business, but just surviving your business. Because that's a survival thing that you went through, man.
Yeah.
What's one of the biggest lessons you learned? And maybe it was that one.
Biggest lessons is definitely probably just like the stress management factor of being a business owner. Being able to
I feel it, man.
Being able to always have that weight on your shoulders and like how can I still be a human being, Like
Sure.
I'm not only a businessman. I'm a human being as well.
A lot of people probably don't see that. Oh no, Bailey the shoe guy. It's like, dude, I'm more than just a shoe guy. Like, come on.
Right. So I'd say just like the stress, the mental health, all of that aspect of things is just trying to keep a balance. It's definitely probably like one of the things that I've picked up on from owning a business is just keeping that balance of keeping a clean head and also being that businessman, being the one that people are looking up to and stuff like that. So.
Love it. One of the things I always say is the ability to handle pressure will ultimately determine the amount of pay that you're going to get.
No,
And,
sure.
the more stuff that you can just let roll off your shoulders and then just try to keep a poker face the most you can, which I personally suck at.
Yeah.
But, like,
I'm awful at it.
yeah, you're like, man, this shit's so stressful.
Right.
But then the more shit that you can let roll off and then, you come through and you show up every day and then you perform every day and you become a leader every day and you do all those things, you just keep going, man, and the better off you're going to be in the long run, right?
Yeah. Yep. No, for sure. Just got to keep that balance. It's the biggest thing, keeping a balance. Like you said, sometimes you can have that poker face, but it's definitely not always easy. Especially when, for me, I have 30 employees. When I walk into a room, I kind of feel like I have to hold that example. And it doesn't matter what's going on. If I had a family member die, that doesn't change. I still got to hold in character for all these people who are sitting there watching. I still got to treat customers the way I want them treated because I know my staff's watching me. So just trying to hold, no matter what's going on in the back end of things, trying to still be a good role model for everyone else and leader.
For sure. So I do have an economy question for you. So the Federal Reserve just raised interest rates another 0.25%. You don't have any debt, so you ain't gonna worry about it. But for us,
wait, we need to borrow money from him now. Then
yeah,
actually, hold on.
Yeah, right. Hey, listen, we
lend on
we got
sneakers?
this great property, this great apartment building you can loan on. But no, in all seriousness, man, throughout at least the last, we'll say, year and 2 months or whatever, as the economy started to do this, have you seen any dip in the business? Is that something that you worry about? Or is it like they say, like food, water, shelter, and, booze, too?
Yeah.
Is sneakers included in that mix?
It's a weird thing, sneakers. I think
It is a weird thing.
We definitely have taken a hit. You talk to any shoe store in the world. There's not one shoe store in the world that has done this since COVID. Like there isn't. I'm just being honest. There's not. And I talked to a lot of people. We've taken a hit, but I mean, just like anything in business, you got to get through it. It's not, hopefully, you're going to last forever.
Not permanent.
Yeah, not permanent. You're going to, this. I mean, it's business. We've seen definitely a decline since we've seen a turn in the economy. still in the green, so that's all that matters. Still doing very well. If I could open store 3, 4, and 5, I would still do it right now. But yeah, no, we've seen a decline, but I'm still very happy. You know,
Yeah.
I'm very happy with where we're at. Last year we done better than the year before. Obviously, we did add on a second store halfway through the year, but still our profits were up. So that's all I can ask for. And this year, I'm hoping our profits are up from last year. So
What's your biggest hurdle right now, do you think?
oh man, biggest hurdle right now, I really would say, is spending behavior. You were dealing with when we had jumped into it. We will never see spending like that ever again. I hope we do.
Yeah.
But we probably realistically we probably will never see spending like that
Not for a
ever
while,
again.
at least.
It was no matter who it was getting free stimulus money.
Stimulus mania.
It was nuts. I mean, you had the PPP loans, all that
Oh,
stuff,
jeez.
man. People were getting paid.
EIDL. Dude, they were just
EIDL.
putting out letters,
Pick some
and it was
letters.
a loan or it was
Yes.
free money.
Free money.
Printing money. So we will never see that. Like,
Did you know
it
they?
was-
Do you know they printed? I think it was how much?
it a
a third of the total money supply.
Circulating in the past
And
2
like
years?
it was like
12,
in
24 months or whatever it
yeah
is.
something like that.
You know what's
Something
funny
crazy.
too? The debt ceiling. No matter what it is, okay, we'll just raise it again now. You hit your debt, just raise it.
And they
Yeah.
wonder why there's inflation.
Yeah.
All
Why
it
can't
does
our
is
banks
rob
do that
poor
with
people,
us?
man. It's so,
We owe you
it's-
how
it's
much? Can you just raise it so we can borrow
disgusting,
more?
Is the cost of shoes inflated then? Like
Yeah, how's that read? Like the
cost of
market?
goods
Hey,
when
can
you
I sell these
acquire
for
them?
profit now?
So it's kind of crazy, honestly. So when the market was hot, that's when you see sneaker prices just through the roof because people were paying whatever.
Yeah.
Store myself, I was paying anything. Like I told you, on day one, we had 700 pairs, sold 400.
It's wild.
That leaves us with 300 pairs left. I'm scrambling. I gotta find
you're like-
shoes. I can pay whatever at that point.
If we
Like,
sell
I'm
400 tomorrow, we got
Yeah.
-1. Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We,
Like,
we
you know what I
did.
mean?
We realistically had for negative shoes.
Oh,
It was
shit.
awful.
Online
Awful,
orders,
man.
yeah.
That was
Or
it
in-store
was,
orders.
It was stressful because, like I said, it's just Jake and I.
Yeah.
We didn't
Didn't have the
expect
whole team yet.
employees. Yeah, we didn't even know how to put someone on payroll. So we're like Googling. How do we do this?
Siri, how do I add someone on payroll?
Right. We had to learn everything.
Doesn't that show you how
Um,
easy it is, though? I'm not saying it's easy because it's definitely hard, but like
You put the work into it.
at least
you figure it
at
out.
least to
Work
go
ethic,
research the
yeah.
information.
Right. If you have the work ethic, you could be a damn good.
Did anyone
business
teach
owner.
you, or like was there like mentor? Just learn it all yourself,
No, it
huh?
was just Jake and I. Google. No, we.
Hey, it's just Jake and I, man.
Shout out
Dude,
Google.
that is the most beautiful shit. It's just Jake and I, man.
But
That's
no,
awesome,
we never. Always wanted a mentor, but never. No, I didn't have anyone that was like, "This is what you got to do. If this happens, this is how you react to it." If budgeting. Like, we had no clue. Like I said, we spent every last dollar that I had to open the store. I'm selling my personal collection. Like, I'm putting in the store on day one. Like, please let this work out. Please let this work out. Because if it doesn't, I'm all in. It's rent doesn't stop. Like, I'm all in, like I said. So
It worked out though.
it
It definitely worked out.
worked out.
Have you thought about having your own brand or line, or is it almost impossible
Well,
with like
right
the
now
big
it's like-
players?
What is the number? It's all Jordans, right? Like, isn't that still number one selling pair? Or has that
Yeah,
changed?
I'd say Jordan.
Dunks.
Yeah, Yeezy.
Now, whatever
Yeezy
has, like-
there for a minute.
Yeah,
Isn't that
Yeezys
crazy though?
were-
Like, I gotta test. Like
Everyone
Michael
was
Jordan,
wearing Yeezys.
his shoe. I mean, it's still the number one selling shoe, and like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the main business. Like, how?
Crazy.
Can
Is there any other brand like that?
Hey, he's been
Yeah.
retired. He's been
Yeah,
retired how
yeah.
long?
Yeah, the amount of
Yeah, yeah.
that's one of the
Kanata's got him.
most iconic shoe of all time. The Red 4. I mean, yeah, they
You think Jordans will ever go out of style, or is it just
No.
it's a full culture now, right?
man,
That's what you're building upon.
I think Nike's essentially trying to, but
Can't do it, huh?
they can't. They can produce billions. They buy them. People still buy them, no matter what colorways. I'm seeing some of the worst colorways I've ever seen in my life. I'm
Just
like, they're
make them.
selling out. Like
Brown and purple.
I
Have you
think
had to-
Nike just messes around. Is like,
Yeah.
okay, let's
Have
try
you had to
it.
deal with Nike
Yeah.
at all, though? By the way,
Do what?
did Nike come after you, or do you have to deal with them being like a reseller or like a gray nothing? So they don't even care. They just,
Conspiracy
Instagram.
Yeah.
theory, by the way, is maybe there's a reason they talk about the Jordan LeBron thing and they beat it to death. And then
Shoes.
you know what happens? If Nike's throwing in money here, well, guess what? There's more shoes being sold because the conversation's still alive.
Yeah, it still keeps it alive.
Not saying, just saying.
Yeah.
What sells
Like,
more,
I
Jordans
like
or
where your
LeBrons?
head's at.
What do what?
What
Sky
sells
Am.
more, Jordans or LeBrons?
Jordans.
All right, cool.
Yeah, LeBrons don't sell. LeBrons aren't as.
They're not
popular
comfortable
as they
either. I'm not gonna
were.
lie.
Yeah,
I bought a pair.
no.
It's not comfortable.
No, I still love my
Dude.
LeBrons, but I like the older LeBrons because I was in middle
Yeah.
school, so like that was what I.
His
I
logo's
do.
not as cool either.
Nah, Jordan is. That's
I will say
Too
the most
complicated.
comfortable basketball shoe I've ever put on. I never owned a pair, but this dude in 7th grade had a pair.
And
The
ones.
I did not have a pair. Well, they were cool.
Yeah.
But
LA Knights.
the original Gary Payton's, the gloves.
He had
There,
shoes.
there were the neon,
Yeah.
neon
I love
squigglies on the
those, man.
side,
Yeah.
and they zipped up.
Mhm.
Dude, I wanted a pair of those so
Those are
freaking
retro. They're
bad.
probably
My buddy
worth $1,000
Gavin, he
now.
had the- he had
Oh
a pair
my
of the
god,
gloves.
dude! Like my mom wouldn't get them for me, man. My
Yeah.
mom, she set a rule. She said, "You got $75 to spend on shoes."
You got that much? I had like 35.
No,
I had Kmart
that was a
shoes.
year, bro. Because I hit puberty really early, so just
I had to start my
But-
side business to get money to buy shoes.
Yeah, but that was the most comfortable pair of basketball shoes that I've ever put on in my life, and I was like, man, I love these, and they were so cool. They zipped up.
Yeah. No, I did like that. I like those too. My buddy had them, and I thought that was just the coolest thing in the world. They zip right down.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Yeah.
Oh, see, I feel like basketball shoes have come a long way. I used to get blisters every
Oh, yeah.
time I played, and now the ones I wear, it's like the most comfortable thing. Literally. Like the Russell Westbrooks are
Mhm.
insanely comfortable.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
I just got a
blisters.
pair of the.
Well, dude,
I got a pair of the Giannis the other day, and they're like $80, and they're the most comfortable shoe I've ever worn my whole life.
What's those green ones I got? The T Scotts?
Travis
Are
Scott.
they?
Yeah, the Travis Scott.
Oh, you do have a pair of those.
Yeah.
That's from him too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Those
six-
things suck.
Yeah.
Those things are.
Six-
Dude,
Yeah, he's not an athlete.
I played basketball in the. Well, that's probably why I shouldn't.
There you
have
go.
bought That was a mistake.
So minus the shoe stuff, another note, what do you like to do for fun? You were talking about balance before, so what's something that you like to go release and not deal with business stuff? What's your
I love sports. Huge on sports. I've always been on sports.
It's like an easy translation, right?
Yeah,
All
no,
right.
it is. Anything sports related I can do, I'll do it. So like when Buckeyes just played in the playoffs, they played in Atlanta. So we drove up. I went and watched the Titans play in Tennessee on the way up. Then watched LeBron play Atlanta
holy crap?
I
the
love
next
those.
night, and then went and watched Ohio State play that night, and then we were trying to go to the Bengals game the next day. So like, I like sports. I like going to sporting events. I like playing sports.
All right, so you're buying the
basketball.
jet and we're gonna borrow it from you. Cool.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, just anything sports related. If it's a girls volleyball match, I'll go watch it. I don't care. It just keeps me distracted, keeps me busy. Anything that keeps me distracted, perfect.
And if
Perfect.
it's sporting events, it keeps you selling shoes.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
ultimately keeps you, grounded and leads you to your greater vision and
Yeah.
Being able to make money. And I always say, man, like, if you have no money, it's kind of hard to have impact. It really is. If people
is,
don't
yeah.
know you, you don't have a name or money or whatever. Like, and that's part of the reason why you get money is to be able to make impact
Yep.
and to be able to affect other people's lives.
Mhm.
And so I the fact that you've learned that very early, it took me, I don't know, probably till I was 31 or 32 to be able to understand and actually realize that.
Mhm.
And so the fact that you've done it so early, man, is a testament to who you are as a person.
Yeah, no, and that's it's always been the biggest thing. I think throughout all this, like I know for me, money never was the number one. Like money was not what drove SoleStop.
It's a
Money was
byproduct.
not like it was like everyone wants money. Everyone, when
Yeah.
you're 16, like you have pictures of cars and all that stuff. Like everyone wants money, but I always, if I didn't have money, it was never like a deal breaker for me. If SoleStop was not crazy profitable, I still would have SoleStop. I'd still would own SoleStop. If I was making $30,000 a year running SoleStop, I'd still have SoleStop.
So if there was a guilty pleasure, what is it?
Buying shoes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's gotta be shoes.
It kills me. I buy
Such the right answer.
So you're still willing to overpay for some certain shoes that you can't find then, right?
It is addicting, man.
Hey,
Buying
they-
shoes is addicting.
They got a pair of pickleball shoes yet? You want to be the first?
Oh, dude. Sponsor
Ontario
my ass,
sponsor.
dude.
Yeah.
What's the-
There, you can target
that was me
the.
like rushing the line.
Yeah, then you can target the older demographic, encompass everything. You know.
Dude, that's the Asics that are tied up way too tight with grass stains on the side. What
All
are those?
whites,
The New
yeah.
Balance 507s or something like that?
Yeah,
How do
I
you
like
know all
those
this
a
stuff? I
lot.
don't even know that stuff.
You like those? They're sweet.
I was looking at them.
But yeah, I'd say my guilty pleasure is definitely I buy too many Tim shoes, man. Well, I blame my employees. They'll call me like, "We just got these in your size."
You're like, why are you telling me this?
Look at
Yeah, let
Hey.
me get them. Let me get them.
Wait, didn't you already get them though? If we got them,
You
in,
talked
like-
them well.
Me
You
and
talked
Chase
them
were the
well
same
then.
size.
Oh,
So
really?
we're like battling it out on who, because when he used to work for us, we'd like someone come in. I'm like dibs.
How many pairs of shoes do you have?
I'm over 100 now. I used to have even more, but I when I first opened SoleStop, I let go of a lot of shoes.
For the
I
business,
can't
or?
replace, yeah, for the business. Can't replace shoes. So now I'm just like slowly building it, like getting rid of some here, buying more here, like
You got
keep
your
telling
priorities
myself
straight,
I'm
though.
done buying shoes. But at the end of the day, like it is an asset. Like
Yeah.
everything I'm buying sneakers wise, I make money on. Like anything personal.
great.
Just as long as you don't crease those motherfuckers.
They hold their value. Yeah.
Even then, I buy them. I make sure I buy them at the right price. Like when it comes to my personal stuff, like I said, I'm cheap. I'm very cheap. I don't buy brand new
Yeah.
shoes. It's one weird thing about me. I don't buy brand new shoes because they lose value. So I'm still very cheap, no matter
We're getting
what.
you into properties soon, man. I think you're ready. I mean,
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
we're handing down Ohio Home Code to
That's,
him, dude. You know?
absolutely.
Yeah, I've always told Sully that's what's next. I'm definitely excited for that route, but I want to really make sure SoleStop is where I want it.
So to kind of final that up as far as like your growth plans and all that stuff, you said you want to exit this at some point. You're already thinking about that, which I'd never thought about exiting my business. I thought I would own business forever, and you know, maybe I will, maybe I won't, but being able to at least have that as an option, pretty cool. You're thinking about that. So what's an exit look like? Is there a number? Is there a number of stores? Is there someone that you can sell to? Like, have you went through that whole process yet?
That's a good question.
If not, you're about to.
I don't have an exact number. I'd say, let's say I took last year's profit. I'd like to get the amount I have in inventory plus, I'd say between 3 to 5 times last year's profit. That would
That's
be
realistic.
probably my goal. Probably more to 3 than 5 in our business.
Sure.
But that would be
How many stores?
realistic.
How many stores before you exit?
Or you on a time thing? How many more years do you want to do it?
I think stress. I'm more on a stress thing.
Stress
I think
thing?
It's gonna
The
be,
stress hits it.
I'm see how stressful this gets.
That's
You,
why I
but,
you
was
had,
the rest-
you had
rest of
stores,
this.
you had
You get-
stress.
hey, you get paid for pressure.
Number of stores. I'd say it depends on how profit. Because for me, when I open Tuttle, I'm thinking, oh my god, is it always gonna be this? Is each store gonna be this profitable? Because I'm like, I'll open 10 of these things.
Your number space, that's pretty smart.
Now, it's rent for malls are getting more expensive. Profits are going down, so it is getting a lot
See, and I
harder
don't
to
understand
open.
why.
either.
I
Mall
don't
gets
understand
down.
why because malls are closing by the day.
That's probably why.
They understand.
So they have to charge more for
they're
people that
starting
are in
to
there.
understand the money in our business. When they first looked at a shoe store, a buy, sell, trade shoe store, and we were Goodwill. In
Yeah,
their
like, what is
eyes-
this? They're going to leave
we
anyway
were
soon.
Plato's Closet opening in these malls. They didn't understand. Like you buy.
Let's stop paying rent month.
They're like, you buy used shoes. I remember we had maybe 10 malls that were like, you guys buy used shoes? Like what the
It's
heck?
like, yeah, I
That's
do.
disgusting.
You don't?
So that was I think people are starting to finally understand. Well, I won't say people, malls, Simon and all these companies are finally starting to see these stores who are making millions at one location. So
Yeah.
like if you know
They want a
if
piece
they
of it
can
now.
afford it, yeah. So for me, I'm not doing any more bad malls. I'm not doing it. If
Gotta be
I'm
picky
gonna
on it.
open, I'm gonna be very very picky on which malls I choose.
Is Easton an option?
We
I
talked
love
about
Easton.
that.
Yeah, we did talk about that. I love Easton. I love inside of Easton. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
so
want to
do
be
I.
outside of Easton. I wouldn't want to be like where Apple or like.
You hear that,
I mean,
Steiner? Let's
and-
get him in.
But I
I
mean,
want to
there's
be-
a lot of
yeah,
stores.
no kidding.
There's a lot of stores at Easton that because it is like one of the primo malls of the Midwest,
Mhm.
that it's more of a flagship thing.
Yeah.
It's more
It's more
of
for
a hey,
branding and
Right. That's what
advertising
you were
billboard in a
saying.
way.
Yeah, that's what you were
hey,
saying.
if this thing breaks even, cool. All my other stores are going to benefit because of having
Or in
this.
Easton, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, no, for sure, and I do agree on that, and that's why it hasn't been top priority for me. Easton would probably be like further back in my priority as far as what I want to,
Yeah.
the mall I
Maybe
want to
store
attack
like 10.
next. Yeah, I mean, it would be cool to have Easton. Being established in Columbus now, it would be cool to have Easton. Just again, kind of like you were saying, like just being able to say, like, I am an Easton Town Center.
Yeah.
Like it does create a lot for your brand. Just being able to say you're in there.
But you want to go to warmer weather.
I do want to go to warmer weather. Yep, get me somewhere south.
Miami, we're
man.
coming for you.
I'm
Even if it's seasonal.
Sweater.
Even if it's seasonal, man, give me somewhere warm. I can't do any more November, December, Januaries in Ohio.
Yeah, that's
How
not good.
about
It's not good for the
what the
mental
heck,
life.
man?
I like
Hey,
being
I like,
outside.
I like
Outside,
November,
man.
December, but as soon as Ohio State is knocked out of the playoffs
True.
picture, I'm out.
Awful. Yeah,
Well,
it's
unless the
awful.
Steelers are in, then I'm still
Yeah,
here.
not-
After
not
that,
good
I'm
for
out
the
a
mental.
couple months.
Yeah.
Ohio can't finish lately, by the way. It's kind of Cincinnati
Yeah,
and
it's
Buckeye.
been-
What the heck's going on?
I don't know. We make it. We just can't finish.
Yeah, even Cincinnati, they. Oh, it's a sad one too. It's a sad one too. But yeah, I'm ready to get somewhere warmer. And hopefully, I mean, maybe it means like we were talking about earlier, vacations,
Yeah.
stuff like that. I think that would help me a lot.
Travel around, see different places. You know, you might fall in
Right.
love with one and want to open something
right,
there.
Right, and that's something I have thought about. I've just been so all in on SoleStop.
Yeah.
Like it's never even crossed my mind as far as just like being that far away from SoleStop. Like
Well, it's not
making
easy
calls
either.
Every day.
It takes a lot of, like,
Yeah.
the business that you've been through, it's so difficult. It's not an easy
Right.
thing where people think, oh, I can go buy some shoes and resell and make a bunch of money. No. Once you're a business, a lot of people can make money. It's a hobby,
Right.
small thing. But running a full business has its own set of, rules and
Yeah, I got 30
hurdles.
employees.
Yeah. And so that
Like,
makes it more
it's-
difficult, and it's a hard balance to run. It's like all that work behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see, and
Right.
you've been doing a great job
Right.
at that, man.
Yeah, like Jake and I mean, we are the ones that do everything. We are the ones submitting rent. We are the ones that, submit numbers. Like, we do everything. We're setting the budget. We're doing this and that. Like, when you go to other businesses, you'll see them have so many different pieces and tiers and this, and this, and this. It goes down a tier of this person answers this question. This person handles this thing. In our business, it's Jake and I. Like, it is.
Soon you're going to have some VAs, which I was telling you about before,
Yeah,
but I learned
yeah.
that from Terry.
Or an accountant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think an accountant
The
would.
biggest, one of the biggest game changers in our business has been hiring almost like a controller. Someone that can, sign checks, someone that does, profit and loss statements, balance sheet, does all these types of high level tasks that we do, like forecasting, all those types of things.
Mhm.
Hey, cash flow, we're gonna run the snag. Boom, we're gonna need a couple $100,000 on this day.
Yep.
Boom, boom, boom. Then it allows me to go out and sell and raise money
Right.
for what the business needs at all times. But now I know what I need to go do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now I can go perform and I can operate.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's definitely our goal. And it's just finding those people. I think is not easy, especially when you're dealing with a lot of money and a lot of different things.
Yeah.
That's my goal is to have our business completely. Especially if I want to sell. Can't sell something. We're like, the owner actually handles everything.
Yeah.
It just doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, you could, because then you get them to pay you a higher. So, like, I'm selling my business, but I also still want
I
paid
wanna
to
keep
run it.
you.
Yeah, but I think what's so cool is like you're telling the story of the journey. There's not a destination, and people eat that shit up. There's a reason. There is a reason that many people came to support you after such a horrific event. There's a reason that people day one came to support you. Lines out the door.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a reason. So as long as you keep that, dude, I think that you'll scale well. You'll
Yeah.
scale well.
No, that's definitely.
Man, and
cool.
sneakers are so fucking cool. Like all the new sneakers that are coming out, there's so much cool shit now. And
Yeah.
like it's like a haircut. Like as soon as you put a new pair of sneakers on, you feel
Let's
like
do
a new
fire round.
person.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No,
I'm
that's.
excited about this.
Yeah.
You ready for your fire round, by the way?
Do what?
You ready for a fire round?
Fire round.
Fire
So we're
round,
gonna do a
yeah.
fire round.
This is gonna be easy.
Just say yes.
Okay. Yeah.
He's like, wait, what am I
Here
going
we
to
go.
do?
Here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Cardio or weightlifting?
Weightlifting.
Oh man, you're going different.
23 or
on
6.
this. Ooh,
23.
Heck yeah.
yeah. Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
You literally took mine.
Converse or K Swiss?
Gone.
All right,
I
I
like
got
go
one.
K Swiss.
LA Gear or And One?
I like and one because I actually had and
Hell
ones.
no,
growing
bro,
up,
dude,
growing up, I had and
Dude,
ones.
I
So
have
did
been
I.
looking for a pair of LA Gears with the light ups for so long.
Yeah,
You can't
that's
find
funny.
them. You can't find them.
Yeah, I had a lot of and one stuff, so I had to go with and one. And the shorts, and the shoes.
Pizza or wings?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Pizza.
And pineapple or no pineapple?
No pineapple. Never been a pineapple guy.
Are Under Armour shoes trash?
I'm not crazy on Under Armour myself.
I got one for you,
That's
man.
too
Did
good.
Shaq make the right decision by selling his shoes at Walmart?
Yeah, I think it's cool because like it was affordable. Like I liked how
Yeah.
I liked what it was. I thought it was cool. You gave kids the opportunity. Like, I mean, you gave 10-year-old the opportunity
To
to
own.
be Shaq for $20. Like, you could to be LeBron, and it's gonna take you $220 plus tax, $236. You know, just to
Shit.
be LeBron.
Plus tax.
Yeah,
He knows it by heart. He's doing the numbers.
If you want to be Jordan, or if you want to be LeBron, you know, for these kids that are 10 years old, like, dude, you're paying. If you want to be Shaq, $20.
Not only that,
$30.
that's like your mentality that shows, because in your store you could charge more if you wanted to, but you don't.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah,
deals
we
that you
charge
sometimes
so
put
much
out
more.
there, you'll be like, you know what, $50 for this $300 pair. You put them out there, it's like, wow, you really do want to like spread it and let everyone enjoy it and be
Yeah.
a part of that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
amazing, man.
Yeah,
You're an
we
amazing person.
Yeah,
Seriously.
we could charge a lot more for our product, but that's not what it's about, man. It's not at all.
Well, Bailey, I'm looking forward to seeing what you do in the
Same.
future, man. And I really appreciate you coming on the Scalers Only show today. Pleasure having you. By
Yeah,
the
this was
way.
fun.
Yeah.
How do people find you?
In the store.
Pick a store.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
find me on social media. Come into my shit.
Yeah, no, I got rid of my Instagram. I'm on Facebook, Bailey Leforge. But yeah, find me in the store. I'm always on our social media. You'll see my face all the time on there doing fun
You're making more
videos
content.
and
You're getting
stuff.
good at it now.
Yeah, I was
You
gonna
saw us
say,
hide, but now you're more
I
on
do, yeah. Yeah,
SoleStop.
like I said, man, I'm trying to branch out. Trying to get my weak areas.
Yeah.
Being in front of a camera, speaking to people.
Well, you're
that's
doing
not
good
my,
at it,
Not
man.
my strong suit. So, just trying to hit the areas that I've never been good in, because I'll understand, you know, when it gets on to bigger and better things, whether it be real estate, whether it be more businesses, whatever it is,
Yeah.
it'll be an advantage being comfortable. to
Well,
do.
I think you have a hell of a brand that is entrenched in the state of Ohio, and it's not going anywhere. And I can't wait to see you focus on it and take it to the next level.
Yeah, no, sure.
How do you find SoleStop though?
So
SoleStop does have Instagram.
Yes,
There
SoleStop
you
does
go.
have Instagram. SoleStop 614,
There you go.
SoleStop 614, and then we're in Polaris Fashion Place. We're on the first level, right beside Saks Fifth, and then at Total Crossing Mall,
Well done.
right beside Scene 75.
Hell yeah.
And next in Miami, Florida, coming
Love
soon.
it.
Yep,
I
yep.
think so. I'm telling you.
Miami's-
I'm
there
gonna
we
live
go.
on
There
it.
it is next. It is next.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank
Hey,
you so
yeah,
much for
problem.
Thanks for
Yeah,
coming on,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, appreciate you, bud.
Well, hey guys, thanks for tuning in to the Scalers Only show with my man Bailey Leforge. Until next time, where we talk real estate, business, lifestyle, and everything in between. We'll see you guys then. Peace.